Hi Tarot Tribe and Tarot Lovelies and Mystic Babes. It's Ethany and I am here with a seasonally late, fashionably late, probably a little bit too late, video response to Kelly Bear's 5 tarot decks you couldn't live without, and just even thinking about that gives me anxiety. And I'm late because on this video response because I've been really sick, and today is the first day I feel and sound halfway human, and I had see, I'm still like frogging at the throat. I had the Kickstarter campaign launch for my new Oracle deck, the Awakened Soul Oracle, on Monday, and then that was a huge whirlwind day, and then all week has just been sort of taken up with trying to get over being sick and fulfill client tarot readings and just sort of looking after my son and, you know, the everyday sort of stuff. So I've been wanting to do this video, but I just haven't had a chance to. And yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about like anxiety, because it's come up for me a lot. Around this I think time. Crowdfunding to begin with makes me anxious, and that was part of the reason why I wasn't sure I wanted to do that again, because it makes me incredibly anxious. And I'm not really an anxious person to the point where I don't suffer from anxiety attacks, thank goodness, but I find that if I'm having a very stressful time or I'm anxious about something, that it can be very difficult for me to like fall asleep, and I get stress-induced insomnia, and it's just hard. You're just like stressing about something, and no matter how much kind of meditation or whatever, it just doesn't seem to work. Or maybe I'm not doing it right, very possibly. So it was interesting when I first saw Kelly Bear's video. And she said about the 5 tarot decks that you'd have, for the only 5 you'd have for the rest of your life. I immediately kind of just went, no, like, how do I choose? And that's silly, right? Because they're just things. They're amazing things, and things I'm extremely passionate about, if you know me for a hot second. But they're still things. And I remember when the poor, well, not the poor, but the lovely Kellyanne Maddox had the Watergate, and her apartment flooded, and it flooded right over her decks, and I just thought, oh my god, like that would be my worst nightmare, besides obviously like losing my family. It'd be horrible as a tarot deck reader and a collector to be like, oh crap, your decks just went down in water or up in flames. Like, it'd just be horrible. And so yeah, I just, even the thoughts of those things, and it may sound really silly, I don't know, it probably does, but it brings up anxiety in me. And then, I mean, I had to do this already when I moved country, and I have a ton of decks I don't even want to think about. Like, over 100 decks of mine are still in Australia, and it looks like the reunion is happening this year, and I can't wait to be knee deep in my old decks. Like, I know I've got like the Bohemian Gothic tarot, like a lot of my Baba Studio tarots are in there. There are a ton of decks that I know I have, and they're in that collection. I'm really looking forward to going through them all and reacquainting myself, and you can expect a lot of videos about that. I'm just going to have a happy day where I'm just going to sit and go through all the boxes and just be like, meh. And there's like my Care Bear collection from when I was a kid, my photo albums, my Care Bears that I bought for my unborn children, books that I held on to that I wanted to give my kids, my first edition Harry Potter books. Oh my god. I just remembered that. So there's a lot of stuff that's still in storage in Australia that's coming. I hope I didn't just like yell at you all. That's coming this year, and I'm really, really excited. So I know the anxiety of like trying to pick, because I had to pick a bunch to come with me. And then not only did I have to pick a bunch that had to come with me, some of them went via ship, a lot of them with like my altar, and I was just like, oh my god, please, like, you know, praying to white lighting the crap out of it for it to arrive in one piece, because it had all of my statues, like ancestral heirlooms, my athame, like everything that I have on my standing altar, you know, my plate from Greece that has my Aphrodite and my Athena on it that was given to me from a friend. Like, really important stuff was in those boxes, and they arrived safely. And then I had to pick which ones were going to come with me in my luggage, and again, that was really hard. So I've picked 5 decks through all my anxiety riddled week. And I'm going to tell you why I've picked them. And I've gone down the road of if you're like going somewhere for a year. So let's say I'm going on a sabbatical to Peru for a year, because that is so where I would go. I'd go back to South America in a flat heartbeat, because it's just so amazing there. I would take these 5 decks. And I did a video before about my top favorite decks for the 31 Days of Tarot in January. But this is a little bit different, because this was like, they were more like the sentimental decks, and this is the decks that I would want to work with for the next year, and that I would take with me if I only had the ability to choose these ones. So I think I've explained that enough. And I have loved, oh my god, I've like binged watched everyone's videos. I think there was a lot of responses, so I don't know if I've seen all of them, but I've been adoring watching them all. Love it. I love seeing what people like have had to choose, if they had to choose only 5. And I'm sorry I was so late to the party. Okay, so my first is my Morgan Greer Tarot. I know it's very typical of Ethany to be picking her Morgan Greer, but I can't imagine not using this deck. I use this nearly every single day. It is my current workhorse, as I call it. I freaking love it. The cardstock is beautiful. It's very well worn. It's like starting to wear. This deck holds up to a very good tarot shuffling. You can shuffle the crap out of this deck, and it does really well. But I just love it so much. This was actually a secondhand deck that I picked up. I have another copy. I think I have actually 2 more copies of this. I don't have the tinned one. And the reason I don't have the Morgan Greer in a tin is because I've heard that, I mean, the cardstock is different. The color is different. So the colors in the cards are different. And it's smaller. So, but it would be a really cool little travel deck, and I may end up getting it at some point, but I've got the original, and I just can't, yeah. It's like a soul companion. This is like chicken soup for my tarot soul. Why isn't there one of those? We should write one of those. We should all write one of those. We should all write a little story about chicken soup for the tarot soul. Let's do it, guys. If you're interested, just do it. Oh, right, because I need another creative project. Like, I need another hole in the head. So this is, although wouldn't it be rad? Let me know. You interested? This is the Morgan Greer. And I love her so very much. So she would come with me. I'd read her with her every day. Guys, this was so hard. This was really hard. The second one is my new Tarot in Santara, and I've done an unboxing video of this, so I will go through it all. And I talked a little bit about, oh, the sun came out. Try not to drop it on the floor. I talked about my time in Indonesia, and I spent quite a bit of time there when talking about this deck. And it's pretty much brand new. I just did the unboxing today. Probably able to tell from the outfit and the hair. I got a kid. I got a batch, yo. I got to batch my videos. It's brand new, but I want to spend a lot of time with it. And yes, the print isn't great, as in it's a little bit like blurry. The lines aren't sharp, but I don't care. I've been waiting this deck for years. So I really, 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 really am looking forward to spending time with this deck, and I would love to take it with me traveling and just spend some quality time with this deck. It's Rider-Waite-Smith based. You do not get a guidebook, so I mean you can transfer your Rider-Waite-Smith. I mean, it's so beautiful. You can transfer your Rider-Waite-Smith knowledge or tarot knowledge, or just use your intuition when you want to read these cards. And the titles are in an Indonesian text. So again, like you'll just have to put your Rider-Waite-Smith knowledge. And the back, it reminds me of batik fabric, which I have still. I've still got some from there. So I would definitely take this deck and spend a lot of time with it, and I'm looking forward to getting to know this deck very well this year. It was unexpected that I was able to get this deck thanks to the reprint and the lovely tarot girl next door who managed to do a group buy for us. So yeah, it's amazing when you visit a place or you have an experience that reminds you of a deck, or a deck comes out. Like if there was a really nice Andean deck that I found, I would be all over that in a hot second, because I love South America and I love Peru. Peru for me was just like, I don't know if I've spent past lives there or whatever it was, but I just adored it. I adored the ever-living snowball marshmallows out of it. I was going to sweat, but I decided not to. So that's my number 2. Oh yeah, I was just saying that if you've spent somewhere in if you've spent some time in a place, or some place reminds you of a deck, like if you find a deck in a certain country or in a certain op shop on a road trip or whatever, and you get that like immediate kind of oh gosh, what word am I looking for? Oh, God, this morning it's hard work. My son has kept me up like all week. That sentimental connection, and that's very much what the Nusantara Tarot is for me. Okay, so let's take a minute and do the next one. So the next one is the Star Child Tarot, and I've chosen the Akashic version, although I would take either one. I love these decks. I'm a massive fan of Danielle's, and I love supporting indie decks. I think a lot of it for me is the palette of like everything that is like aesthetically on this deck. I just want to drink it. I just want to live in a palette of purples, pinks, blues, and teals, and pastel yellows. I really do, and I just love reading with it. I love the cardstock. I love the gilded, the gold, antique gold edging, which is stunning. I love it. I don't know what else to say. I choose it quite often in readings for my clients. It's very well loved, as is my original deck as well. My original Star Child Tarot, and I will be getting the Moon Child Tarot, and I'll be getting the standard version. She's doing another version which is like a more standard version of size of the tarot. So I adore this deck. This deck just, I don't know, I think it's like a very much of the aesthetic and what it kind of awakens in me. When you do your Aurosoma training, if you know what Aurosoma bottles are and Aurosoma training is, a color therapy, it's got crystal elixir, it's got flower essences, it's got oils, it even sits in the tarot, and I've got the Aurosoma tarot, and that was one of the very close runner-ups for this challenge. When you do your training as a consultant, it's a lot of weekends, and it was amazing to do, but you choose a lot of bottles, and when you go over and over and over your choices of bottles, and then when you finally get to, there's a very specific sequence of bottles after you've done it a number of times throughout your consulting, your training to become a consultant. These are like your life purpose bottles, and I was always drawn to like magentas and turquoise, like purples and blues, but the bottle with the turquoise and the magenta was like my work, and that is mass communication. So taking communication of the spiritual, which is the magenta, out into the world, and being a voice for spirit and being of service to spirit in the world, but in a larger way. And you don't really know that when you're like, you learn about the bottles as you go, but you don't really know that purpose thing until like right at the end. And I spent, months with this training. And all that gear's coming as well, which is pretty exciting. And a lot of these cards kind of remind me of that palette of those magentas and those turquoise. I think it's probably why I really adore it, is because it's very linked to my my soul's work. Whoop. And that's why I do the reading that I do with the Orosoma Tarot, which is finding, what you vibrate to, what your soul vibrates to in this lifetime. I'm using the Orosoma Tarot, but yeah, I think it reminds me of that. But this deck, love. I don't know how many clients I've read with this deck for, and I will continue to do so. So I would definitely take it, even though it is a heavy one. Oh, and she's got some back in stock, by the way, if you've been waiting to hear. Okay, final two. It's the final countdown. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo-doo. This is another really heavy one, although I'd probably leave it in this box. It's been in this box since I got this deck. Like the year it came out. I can't remember when. And I've got the version with the big book. If you buy the version today, you will probably get the one with the smaller little box. The cards are still the same size, but the box is smaller, and so is the book. I don't know if the content is the same. Sorry about that. I'm assuming that it is. My Ace of Pentacles border is a bit skewy, but so this is the Druidcraft Tarot. Oh my god, I love this tarot so much. Will Worthington's, so 2004, it's got on the back. Will Worthington's, I've had this deck for a long time. Artwork is just exquisite. The only deck of his I don't have is the Druid Plant Oracle, and I'd love to get my hands on that. But I have everything else. I have not trimmed this deck, although I have seen what they look like without the white borders, and I would say I would love to do that if I was more confident with my trimming abilities, but I'm not very good at it, and I just don't want to butcher this deck. I mean, my ancestry, as like a lot of us, I have, on my mother's side, we have Native First Nations Canadian from Nova Scotia area, the Micmac tribe. And then we also have Irish. And on my father's side, we have English and Newfoundland Canadian. So we do have some very distant sort of ties to Ireland. And I've always loved their mythology and like the Fae, and I just adore this. I read a lot about Druidcraft and Druids, or the reconstructed Druidism, throughout my, it's just a beautiful spiritual journey. I've read with this deck a lot. And for me, this is almost like a personal deck, a deck that I use a lot for my own personal inquiry and my own personal reflection. Yeah, it's just one of the most beautiful decks I have the pleasure of owning. It's very well browned on the on the outside there because I've had it for so long, and I love it. And the last one. Now this was really difficult, but I was like, what's the tarot deck that I've had for a while that I haven't spent a lot of time with and that is amazing? So this is being housed, even though it comes in a tin, this has been housed in a little pencil case that I found from Chapters, which is like Barnes and Noble, I believe, in America, for like $6. And it's really like, it's a denim one, so it's going to last a long time. With a really nice zip. And whenever they're on sale, I always go grab a couple because they're really good for tarot pouches. The Liminal Tarot. It was really hard, guys. It was really, really hard. And I've got the 36th deck of this very limited edition print. It's very tempting to go and buy another one, even though it is extremely pricey, but very well worth it. Backs, and I know there's a few fans here of this deck. Oh, it's so pretty. Another big one. I'm taking a lot of big decks. That's okay. The artwork in this deck, you don't get a, there's no physical guide book. I can't remember if you got a digital one. Someone remind me, I got this a while ago. It is just stunning. I know I use that word a lot. Girl, gotta get a thesaurus. I love that. Go higher to see further. Even just kind of holding these cards has made me slow down in the way that I speak. I know Katie Flowers has done a video on this. Oh my gosh. I mean, look, it's like, oh. That breaking of the sun through the clouds, and almost like she's got angel wings if she would just spread them open and fly away from the pain. It's just such a good friggin' deck. Okay, take a chill pill, Anthony. So, it's so beautiful. I'm just in love with this deck so hard. I'm in love with this deck so hard. This is... I love that adjustment. Yes, you do have to adjust when you have children. Don't I know it? Oh, my little beautiful boy. Who is now in the stage of repeating nearly every word you say. It's so cute. Gorgeous. So I've gone through quite a few of these because it's just stunning. Again, stunning. Ugh, gosh, it's going to annoy myself now. So I would spend a lot of time with this deck. I'm almost afraid to use it. I know that's not a good thing, but it's just so precious and beautiful. If you are interested in this deck, it is an investment. I'm not kidding you, but get it while you can because these decks go out of print very quickly and you can't get them again unless you get them secondhand. So that is my video response to Kelly Bear. I'll put her original video below. So sorry I'm late to the party, everyone, and thank you so much for creating such amazing videos that I've been able to go and binge watch. It's been amazing. And I'm hopefully gonna get some of this beautiful sunshine here, and I hope you get tutu today, and I hope you're fabulous. And you know, if you can come and step, I feel really shitty saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you can come over and check out our Kickstarter campaign that I've created for the Awakened Soul Oracle deck with my beautiful artist Danielle Mulligan, I would super appreciate it, even if you just tweet it out or Instagram it out or Facebook message, share it on your Facebook or your Tumblr, get the word out. We're nearly, we're pushing 50% funded, and I'm really excited about this. deck. Like so much heart and soul has gone into it, and Danielle is just pouring everything that she can into the visions that I send to her for the cards. I've been writing like a little fiend, and we're going to have new cards coming soon too. So, and a competition on Monday. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a beautiful, glorious day.